All right, I'm back to learn some more, or prep some more from calc. Yesterday, I nailed down the basics of the unit circle and how 30, 60, 90 triangles, how cosine, sine, 45, 45, 90 triangles, how those all relate, as well as some proportion problems, part over whole, and railroad method, and also systems of equations, two linear systems, or two linear equations uh, to solve some of those proportion problems. Um, yeah, other than that, gonna go ahead and jump back in, and I'll be back to recall what I learned a little bit. All right, so learned quite a bit today. A few definitions, solved a few new problems. First of all, sketching angles. Sketching angles in standard position. So what is standard position? Standard position is basically where you're drawing an angle in which the vertex is the origin of a rectangular coordinate system or plane. Coordinate system, I think that's more accurate. Vertex is at the origin. The initial side is on the positive x-axis, and then the terminal side is what you rotate about. So that terminal side is where you're drawing the angle. Again, if it's positive, we're going to go counterclockwise. If it's negative angle, we're going to go clockwise. Yeah. So initial side of an angle is the angle that is the side that's fixed, and the terminal side is the angle that is rotated about the vertex. We use that so that we can define whether the angle is positive or negative. That's why those initial versus terminal side is important. Standard position, terminal, initial side. Anything else? Not sure. So I think we got that. Sketching terminal, sketching angles in standard position. That's good. The next type of problem we were looking at is trig functions with special angles. Special angles, whatever that means. Maybe, yeah, I don't know what special angles are. Not like really standard ones like 0, 180, 360, 270, and 30, 60, 90. Anything else besides that is maybe a special angle. But yeah, again, so we take the angle, we draw it in the standard position unit circle, basically in this unit circle. So the hypotenuse is 1, and then we can draw the other sides of the triangle in order to determine if it's, or what the value, because it's trig function, but it's only referring to, in this case, sine or cosine. So reference angle. Reference angle is basically the angle that's created between the x-axis and the terminal side of the angle. So it's an acute angle. It's less than 90. And those reference angles are what create in these cases, typically the 30, 60, 90 or the 45, 45, 90 triangles. So the vertex of an angle is the point of intersection of the two rays. So standard position, referring to an angle. Okay. Initial side, terminal side of angles allows us to define directionality. Reference angle. Okay. So yeah, pretty solid. This stuff is, I never really learned these definitions or terms, but a lot of the concepts I've done a lot before in my life, so these things just click quickly. But yeah, 2 more types of problems we learned how to do today. Talk to you tomorrow. See you.